Has the world become too cynical to enjoy and appreciate a little bit of magic? In The Odd Life of Timothy Green, Jennifer Gardner and Joel Edgerton play a married couple that just want to have a child. Nothing is really going their way. They decide to put a bunch of things they want from this child, this imaginary child to have, and they put all these things inside a box and they bury it in the backyard. And magic happens. Now, if you've seen the trailer, you have a sense of what this movie is about. It's about a couple that can have a child, and magically they are given a child through dirt. This child is very unique because he's not really aware of what the world has in store, and he hasn't been around for a very long time, and he's about 6, 7, or 8. He's really curious, and he's very odd. So it definitely does live up to the title of being very odd. It is an odd life. This comes from a director that I really appreciate, who's also a screenwriter and a novelist. He's most known for, his name is Peter Hedged, and he's most known for writing the book and screenplay to What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He's also contributed to some screenplays, including About a Boy, and he's directed one of my favorite films from 2007, Dan in Real Life. This is his new film. It's produced by Disney, and I really wanted to give this movie some love. You know, it looked like a very innocent, very harmless film. And I wanted to go into it, you know, not trying to judge it too much, because I love fantasy and I love magic. And I really wanted to sympathize with this film because I know people out there that are kind of in this situation and they can't have children, so they try to either find another way or adopt. At the heart of this film, I was quite touched. I liked the performances, I liked the setting, the locations were really good. The kid, I don't know what his name is, but the kid seemed to do a decent enough job to make you care about him. He was very, very unique. Also in this film is Ron Livingston and Diane Wiest and David Morse. Also, I should also mention there is a great character actor named M. Emmett Walsh, who's been around for a long time doing bit parts in smaller films. It's just great to see him in a role, still acting. He's getting quite up there in age, and it's really great to see him still acting. But back to the film, I wanted to forget that I was watching a movie, and not, you know, I know we live in a very cynical world, and it's nice to have something, you know, it's nice to get out of that world for a little while and go to the movies or read a good book or watch a good TV show that has a little bit of fantasy and magic in it, and it kind of takes you out of it and you believe and you care. You're like, well, they're basing this in reality, but then they're also adding the fantasy element. You really get excited. You're like, oh my gosh, you know, this is quite moving and touching. With this film, how can I put it? This film is very, very harmless. It's very family-oriented, and it's a movie you can take the entire family to go see. That's awesome. That is so cool, because those are very rare when it comes to live-action films. That you can take the whole family, and there's nothing objectable that you can't enjoy with the entire audience. It did at times feel quite heavy-handed with the message, and sometimes there was a few things that I was kind of like going, oh, a little bit of cringing going on. It was just like, I don't think that really works. But other times, it is a nice film about these people, and I like the fact that they do show that this married couple is thrust into this world of having a kid, and they have no idea what they're doing, and they can be quite overbearing and do a lot of mistakes. And I do like that aspect of this movie. But on the other hand, I'm not totally in love with this film. It's not a bad film. It's just a little bit of like, look at us! Look how amazing and magical and wondrous we can be. And look at this and how these things are going to change, and all this great and exciting. I can't think of the word, but it's just like, wow, you know what? It did look like they were trying to reach for my heart and pull on those strings and get me to shed a tear or two. I couldn't help but feel that near the very end of this film. I think the film does end quite nicely. I really like the score. It's probably one of my favorite things about this movie was the score. If the soundtrack was really cheap, I would definitely buy the soundtrack. I was quite moved by the soundtrack. Again, this is not a great film. It's not going to change my life. I wanted the magical element to really move me, but it didn't really do that much. But in the end, it's harmless, it's nice, it's a good movie for the entire family. I think families definitely can go and see this and enjoy this. If your personality is very cynical and you can't take this whole idea very seriously, you might have a problem with it. I enjoyed it for the most part. Not a really amazing film. I'm gonna give The Odd Life of Timothy Green 3 stars. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. You can also go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to Zach, the film wizard Marsh. I had a chance to talk to him on Skype a few weeks ago. We also did a collab review of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. My first review like that. It's kind of like a podcast. And I want to just recommend that you please subscribe to his channel. Check his channel out. I'm going to put links in below. I'll also put a link to the review that we did, and he also has a website that I'll put a link in the description box below. Please check him out. He's a really good guy, young kid who's just passionate about film, wants to participate in all aspects, and I fully support him, and I really would love for you to subscribe to his channel.